Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like this is a very awkward setup. Like, it looks different, even though it's really not. I got a new phone recently, so maybe that's it. This phone has been giving me a hard time with keeping videos that I make. So I've been trying to make videos last month, and it will capture it, like it'll be recorded, like it's got like the little timer here in the corner and all that stuff, and it looks fine. And then when I go to hit stop, it says cannot capture media, and I'm like, son of a bitch, what the fuck's wrong with you? So anyway, I am going to do a wrap-up of the first 5 books I've read this year, which was back in January, so we're hella late, but that's okay. We're doing it now. So, the first 2 books that I read were Zoo and Zoo 2, which I don't have a physical copy of. I just got it from the library. So Zoo, the premise of this, it's not really a series because book 2, it's not even really a duology because book 2 is a novella. It's oh, what's the word? It's marketed as a book shot for James Patterson. So we're just gonna, yeah, we're just gonna go on. We're not even gonna call it a duology because it's not. So the premise of Zoo and Zoo 2 is that the animals have turned on humans for some unknown reason. They realize that we are not the apex predator they think we are. So shit hits the fan, really. So the reason I picked this book up is actually because of the TV series. I saw it on Netflix. It was originally on CBS, and you know how Netflix gets cable shows. So I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I love this! I have to read the books! Oh my god, they were totally different. I know I've already posted a review on these individual books, so I will link that up in the card. I hope it's this side, if not it's that side. We'll go from there. And so you can hear all of my thoughts on that. So, Zoo 1 is written by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. Book 2 is written by James Patterson and Max DiLallo. I audiobooked both of these. They're both narrated by Jace. They're both narrated by Jay Snyder. The narration was really good. I didn't have a problem with it. So as far as the wrap-up for the books, they're both pretty much the same. I've been trying to do like the good, the bad, and the ugly with my reviews. So the good for these 2 books, I love the concept. Absolutely love it. I love that humans are finally getting what's coming to them by fucking with nature for so long. Book 2, I really liked the progression of the story and how humans are further affected by what's going on. Love that. The bad. This was not like the TV show, which I knew it wasn't going to be. I mean, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, especially with TV shows based on. So I knew that going in. The problem I had was that this book only focuses on Jackson and Chloe, and the TV show had so many more characters, storylines, and I missed that in here. Really, really missed that. The second book, the problems I had with that were the absolutely ridiculous plot points. Not to do like any major spoilers, but there was a kidnapping, and I feel like that was only done to have that character be doing something, so they didn't have to worry about, you know, writing more for that character or something. Like, it was ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous. So now for the ugly. The ugly. These were the first James Patterson books I've ever read, and honestly, I don't know if I will ever pick up another one. The writing is ridiculously stupid. Like, the actual, like, sentence structure and stuff is very basic, which is fine. There was nothing wrong with that. But there were so many inconsistent facts going on. It was painful. Absolutely painful. Like, for example, in this book, there's a 5-year time jump. So something that happened right before that time jump. Oh, this happened to so-and-so 3 years ago. After that time jump. Oh, well, this just happened to so-and-so. Well, was it 3 years ago? It should be 8 years ago now. You know, like, there was just... I was hopeful with the second book that because there was a different co-author, that it would have improved, and it did not. I was sorely disappointed. Also, the misogyny and sexism in these books is insulting. Absolutely insulting. And like I said, I don't think I will ever pick up another James Patterson book. If you have one to recommend, let me know, and I will check it out. I'm not going to say I'm writing him off forever, but I need some good recommendations before I, you know, do this again. Ugh. Okay, so those were the first 2 books that I read this year. The second book I picked up was Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. It is apparently a movie, someone told me. I've never seen it though, but I definitely want to if it really does exist. So we are in, 19th century China in a remote Hunan county. So we are following the lives of Lily and Snowflower, who are bound together in this special friendship. And it's a lifelong friendship between just the 2 of them. It's called a Lao Tong. And we're following these 2 girls. Like, they are girls when this starts out, and they are lifelong connected. We follow them through foot binding. Oh my gosh. Like, I googled foot binding because I haven't learned about it since high school, and I'm trying to like picture it in my mind as they're describing it, and I'm like, for whatever reason, my brain was not processing how they were actually folding the feet, and so I learned that. And just be prepared if you're gonna Google that. Just be prepared, because my feet hurt once they got more into it. Like, oh, my feet were like, don't do that. No, stop reading that. We don't like it. So, yeah. We follow them as they grow up, get married, dealing with, you know, typical marital things that happen, giving, childbirth, child rearing, all those sorts of things. So the good. I absolutely loved learning about this period in China. Again, high school history really doesn't do much, you know. This gave you a more in-depth look at 2 different sides, or 2 different possibilities of life in this era. I thought it was very good. I thought the story was intriguing. I absolutely loved it. The bad, like I mentioned earlier, there was a lot that happened in such a short book. I wish there was just more to it. And the ugly. It was heartbreaking how women thought of themselves in this time period. And I know, you know, it's obviously nothing against the author. This is literally how shit went down back then. Like, oh, you're a girl. Your only purpose in life is to get married and birth a boy. We want boys. And, you know, that's been a cultural thing with China since the, like, dawn of time. Let's be real here. And, you know, it was just heartbreaking, you know, as a modern woman in 2018, and it's just like, oh, there's so much more to life than just birthing a son, you know, and if you didn't birth a son, you were worthless. And like I said, it was just heartbreaking to just read about that and know that that's how they really, really felt about themselves back then. So I did audiobook this, and this was narrated by, what's her name? Janet Song. Really liked it. I thought she did a great job, especially with the pronunciation of the Chinese words. It was great. Yeah, so I gave this book, the book itself, I gave it 4 out of 5. The audiobook, 5 out of 5. Unless it's a really bad audiobook for some reason, that they're usually 5 out of 5, to be honest. Oh, for Zoo 1 and 2, I gave those 3 out of 5s, and those are pretty generous. Not gonna lie. Anyway, we're moving on. Okay, so the next book that I read, which I don't have a physical copy of, is Flunked by Jen Calonita, and this was narrated by Kristen Condon. So this is about, essentially, storybook land. This is, you know, where all the fairy tales and story people live. So this focuses on the land of Enchantasia, and it is co-ruled by Cinderella, Rose, Snow White, and Rapunzel. So it's just like Disney threw up in here. So I think it might even be like a Disney imprint book or something. I'm not entirely sure without it physically in front of me. Anyway. So the main character is Gilly. She's the one of the shoemaker's children. She has to go to reform school because she's a thief. And so she meets some friends, the plot ensues, and we continue on with this series. I think it's a trilogy. It's middle grade. I thought it was really good for middle grade. There were some really interesting points that I don't know, as an adult I picked up on, but I don't know if kids would really pick up on it because it wasn't like blatantly stated. So maybe not so much for like younger kids, because some of the friends she made in here were flaky as fuck. Like, oh my god. Like, I know there's the saying, no honor among thieves, but damn. Just damn. Like, this thing left her high and dry a few times. And so I just, because middle grade books, there's no romance. Usually, it's usually just about friendship and that sort of thing. And I just, because it's usually friendship focused, I wish they just called them out on that. Like, hey, you claim to be my friend, but you just ran off when, you know, essentially the cops showed up. Like, that kind of thing. Like, scatter, cops! And your friends just ditch you, you know, and no one cares where you are, you know? It's like it's like Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious 1, you know? And it's like, oh, the undercover cop saved my ass, you know? So, anyway, okay, so, The Good. I absolutely love that it is a story that takes place after the happily ever after. I absolutely love that, because, you know what? Happily ever after is fucking bullshit. And people need to learn that. Kids need to learn that, you know? Once you find your true love, it is not rainbows and unicorns and cupcakes all day for the rest of your life. No. Shit happens, shit is hard, and we need to expose our kids to these. Like I said, the writing was very spot on for middle grade readers. I thought that was good. There is an anti-bullying message in this, which is fabulous. The bad. Again, flaky friends. They weren't called out. There's also no real character development, but I don't know if I should expect that from a middle grade book. You know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts on that. And the ugly. I don't think my daughter is going to read this. I don't think this is her thing. I mean, I plan on buying a copy because I enjoyed it and having it on the bookshelf, so if she wants to read it, it is there for her. Like I said in my goal video way back in the beginning of the year, I'm trying to read more middle grade books so I can read with my daughter and talk to her about books that she's interested in. So I'm trying to read things that she's reading, but also other things to see if those will pique her interest. The last book in this wrap-up is Sharp Object by Gillian Flynn, and this was narrated by Anne Marie Lee. Now, this was a reread for me. Again, something I'm trying to focus on this year. So I think it's technically a psychological thriller, or maybe just a thriller, or mystery. I don't know how all those things differentiate, really, I'll be completely honest. All I know is this was the first Gillian Flynn book I ever read, and I absolutely loved it. It was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe, that I read it. Quick synopsis. Reporter, I think she's in Chicago. She goes back home. She's sent back to her hometown because of these children murderers, and it goes from there. So she's investigating them and blah, 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 blah. So, The Good. This was my first reread of the year. Yay! Hashtag goals! I'm knocking shit out of the ballpark! I was really doing strong in the beginning of the year. I really liked the writing. I really liked the story itself. I really liked it. Some people, like, this has been getting a lot more attention on BookTube, I feel, and people just aren't liking it as much as I do. And it very possibly could be that I'm just blinded by my first reading love of it. And that's totally okay, and I will own up to my bias. So, the bad. It wasn't as good the second time around because I already know how it ends. I know the story. Yes, I picked up on, like, one thing I didn't pick up on the first time. That was, like, this blatant warning sign. And when I listened to it the second time, I was like, oh my god, how did I miss that? So, this was actually, when I first read this book years ago, this was my first thriller mystery type book I've ever read. So I was like, I had no idea what was going on. So, I've read more since then. So, maybe I'll be a more educated reader in the future. I don't know. So, now for The Ugly. There are a crap ton of trigger warnings in this book. Cutting. Child death. Just death in general. Rape. Alcoholism. And child abuse. So, if you are sensitive to any of those issues, do not pick up this book. So, reread, of course. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I don't know if I will ever reread it again, though. Because, again, it wasn't as enjoyable as that first time, you know? So I don't know. What do you guys do? Do you reread your thriller mystery books? Like, what? Tell me your experience. I'd love to know. Audiobook, 5 out of 5. The narrator was fabulous. She did a really good job with vocal changes for different characters and that sort of thing. I really thought it was well done. And yeah, those are the first 5 books that I read in 2018. Again, answer my questions down in the comments that I've thrown at you throughout this video. All of my Stalker links are in the description box below. Individual review videos will be trickling in for these books I've mentioned if you want more in-depth thoughts. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Later!